Alrighty. Everything plugged in, I think so. Alright, let me do a quick audio test. Welcome to the stream, by the way. Right, it's finished loading. Testing, 1, 2. Oh, and the music's not. Hang on. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think that's fine. Rightio. So tonight rather, I just kind of want to continue on with what we were working on last time, which is the knowledge base stuff. I got that working at the end of last stream. At least a basic version of it. Let's have a look. Knowledge. Yeah, so it's pretty much these claims, just with a piece of content. So to quickly recap, the idea behind the system is it's essentially every NPC in this world has a knowledge base which they can store information in, and that's what's used in the dialogue system. So you basically like query their knowledge. That's the system we're building right now. I also want to factor in like local area knowledge, common knowledge, and faction knowledge as well. But for now we just have personal knowledge, and that's things like what their name is, what race they are, etc. So yeah, we will have a play around this. The first thing I want to look at is the search term stuff. I'll do a quick demo of what we have in the game currently. Okay. Back to the start of the song. Yeah, and then the dialogue system is pretty basic. It's just there's not actually much to it. Just a dialogue screen, some buttons you can click, and like an input field, pretty much. Radio. Fine. So basically what we have, if this doesn't crash, is these NPCs. All this art's placeholder. I said that last time, I'll say it again. But for now, these are 3 NPCs, and they each have like some data generated about them, including a name. And the system right now lets me ask things like what their name is, and they can query through their personal knowledge the answer to these things. So I can ask what the race is and gender. And you'll notice it's all text-based too. I want to keep it text-based so that I can have how do I explain this? Like more room for player creativity, I guess. Yeah, we'll get into more about how I want that stuff to work going forward, but I guess a quick summary would be like if I heard this name somewhere else in a dungeon or read it in a book or something, I could ask around for it. It wouldn't need to be like regular games do, where there's a set amount of dialogue options or whatever that you have to pick from that kind of prompt you on what you should ask in the first place. I want the player to have to actually kind of, figure out what to even ask and, what to even talk about. Like Her Story, if you've seen that game before. Yeah, so this is a human by the look of it, and this is an orc. No, that's a human. You can tell by the name. This one is a orc. Yeah. I'm assuming not race. Assuming a male, yeah. Okay, cool. So yeah, basically, so if you look at this, if I ask him what his name is, he'll tell me. If I ask something random, he'll just say, I don't know anything about that. But if I ask him, rather than just typing a name like that, if I ask, what is your name? He will say he doesn't know anything about it, which is clearly a lie. He does know what his name is. But it's to do with the way the search terms work. So if we look at the code real quick, which is somewhere in the query system. Response widget, personal knowledge, search term with the, so the search term is what I type in to say to them, and then we just query that NPC's personal knowledge. Hopefully the text size is okay, actually. If not, let me know and I can make it bigger. But this is a very simple implementation of this, and it doesn't cover enough bases right now, where we go through every claim, and just as a reminder, the claim is the single piece of information they know, so like their name, gender, race, for example. And we just check that the content of that claim, which is the actual sort of text, like my name is blah blah blah, contains the search term. So if the search term is name, then my name is X would be returned. But if the search term is what is your name, then my name is X doesn't contain that search term, if that makes sense. So the first thing I was thinking to play around with is to actually split the search term up and ideally discard irrelevant words. So my name is the only relevant word in there, in my opinion, is name. In which case we could potentially just use this. I was going to do an array of manually typed in search terms here. I think we'll do both. Let's start with breaking the search term up. So I think the first thing I'll do is break the search term dot, pass into an array, and we'll pass it, we need the array, search term parts, I guess. That's supposed to be an array. Sorry if I burp, by the way, I have been drinking beer, so I'll try not to, but search term parts. Then we need the character, which is the delimiter, and then color empty. So can I just do characters like this in C++? No. Fun. Can I do like this, maybe? No. And, oh God. I can't do text, I believe, either. Okay, I'm gonna need to look this up real quick. If I look for references on that. Wait, it was a tchar pointer. So maybe I could do it like this. No. Okay. Let me just Google it. It'll be faster than loading up all this engine code. Teacher literal. Dereferencing a string. Surely I can't just do that though. Really? I don't know. Ah. Okay. So it just has to be in a variable already. Fair enough. Very good. So yeah, we passed that into the array, so now we have these parts, and then what we want to do is for each of the parts, we want to look for claims. And the other problem you might have spotted already, I talked a little bit about this last time, but we actually just return the first match. And what I actually want to do is, if there's, first off, I want to find all the potential matches. And then if there's more than what, you know, a certain amount, say 3, more than 3 results, then it doesn't show any results and the NPC asks you to clarify further. And that way you can't just walk up to someone, know nothing about a dragon, but just type in the word dragon and they'll tell you, you know, if they know, you know, like a bunch of like quest steps or something like that. Or if it's a really common phrase like the, you can't just type in the and it will tell you literally every claim. So that's the idea. But we will take this one step at a time. So for each part, if the claim contains the part, then we want to do it. Yeah, and see, so this is going to be interesting because what is your name is going to be the first thing that triggers, and so the first claim that gets added is actually going to be the first one that returns. You can see the first one does happen to be name, but yeah, I think I can, if this problem does happen, I'll demonstrate it. So should still be able to say name, and now I should be able to say what is your name, and it should work. Yep. Or any combination of that, like please tell me your name. If I do something like what do they call you, that won't work because it doesn't, the word name is not in there. But if I say what is, so if I say, hang on, if I say race, he says orc, then if I say what is your race, the word is going to get picked up first, and I'm pretty sure that's going to return his name instead, yeah. Because it picked this up, and we loop through in order, and this is the first one that's added. So I think this is extra evidence for the fact that I need to not search, like, not search against every word in the content. Which means the claim is now going to need to have more data. So I will have this array of search terms. This doesn't really even need to be an array. But yeah, and then if I do the constructor for this, I think I'll do constructors T array F string search terms. So you know what, I'm going to do this slightly differently. This might be a little weird. I might change it later, but I'm actually going to do it just as a single string like this, which will just make authoring this slightly easier. Search terms and then F string for the content. And then we just say not really new. I don't know what to call this in it. I can't call it the same thing, I'm pretty sure. Search terms and then content is init content. So hopefully if that compiles, I can replace this stuff here. For now I need to comment it out. Yes, I can start working on what it will become. So it'll be npc.personalknowledge.add claim, and it will still be like this, except it'll be like that. So the search terms would be name called maybe, and I'm going to use the semicolon as a like a separator of the search terms. And then now down here we can actually put the content itself, which is that. That did not compile, however. No appropriate default constructor available. Knowledge claim 9. Okay, so let's head back to knowledge claim. Yeah, okay. So it's just, I think it just wants a default constructor as well. But hopefully I can still have a custom one. Otherwise I'll need to make this a method. How's the webcam today? I noticed it was laggy on the last one, so I've changed some stuff. How's it going, Shaik? Welcome in. Okay, I don't think it likes me having that second constructor because I wrote it wrong. That's probably why. How's it going? I'm really hoping for a compile here because then I can switch to this. Yeah, there we go. Nice. Cool, so I can now use these instead. So I'll replace it all. And from here, this is one of them. Is it not? No. It's getting really annoying with these braces though. And then here to here. Here to here. Okay, and now we can just put in manual search terms for this. So I can say race, I don't know what else to put there, and gender, I guess. But I could have now as many as we want search terms. So now what we need to do is when we query the knowledge, we need to edit this a little bit because we're not searching the content anymore. So for each part of the input, I think, yeah, something went wrong with that patch just then. It crashed. Interesting. Yeah, I'm not sure if we want to be searching every part or not, but I can do, for each part, I can do for f-string query term, I guess, in I guess it's just search term. Wait a second. No. Claim dot search terms. And now we need to actually split the search terms here as well, unfortunately. So this is getting a little long-winded, but the query function, I guess, was always going to be. So terms dot pass into array, just like above. Query terms. And we get a pointer to the delimiter. Which is this. And this will rename to search term delimiter. Separator. Okay. And now we can take query terms separator followed by true. And now we have our query terms. And now what we can do is put the check here based on the query term rather than the content. So the content can be irrelevant. You could even have a search term that isn't included in the content at all, and it would still find it. Return the content. Yeah, that looks good, I believe. Yeah, so if this works, the next thing is going to be, rather than returning the first one, we need to add the results to an array, detect how many there are, and then maybe rank them by order, but probably just if there's more than like 2 or 3, we'll just have the NPC ask for more information. Like, can you please be more specific? Yeah, I think this looks good. The only thing I'm thinking is I'm tempted to not split the query terms into parts and just search the query term in general, because if you remember, that's just one string with semicolons in between it, so it should still work with a contains check. It just means if you did, like, you could technically put semicolons in the input text, so I'd have to filter those out. Maybe that would be better though, rather than passing it to an array. However, I should be able to say, what is your name? And he should be able to tell me. Oh god. What is your name? I don't know anything about that. Okay, so that failed. Let's put this down here just so it's easy to read right now. So the parts are good. Claim.search terms, pass that into an array, and then query term contains the part. Right, I think it's because the search term is actually coming through as name question mark, what is your name? The query term is actually name with no question mark, and because we're only split on spaces, I think I'm checking if this is contained within this. So I think I need to just flip it. Or have I got that backwards? Well, let's just test it. The part is the thing I type in. Yeah, and that has the question mark, and does the thing with the question mark contain the word name? Yes, it does, yeah. I think that's the problem. So we could say, what is your name? Yeah, and now he knows it. So now I should also be able to do what is your race, and remember before it would pick up on the word is and search off that, but now the search terms for this I believe are only race. So I can specifically ask that. I could also just say the word race and he'd also say it. And then please tell me your gender or something. And just because it contains the word gender, it's fine. You can, yeah, as I just said, you can just write the word, but it's a little more like immersive to actually talk like that. Cool, all right, that worked well. So then the next thing, I guess, would be to handle multiple conflicts. And so what I'm actually going to do for right now is return I'll just keep returning the first one, because basically I don't have a case where there is a conflict like that. Yeah, so I guess I'll just leave it until that problem actually comes up. But yeah, this knowledge system is working now, so I guess the next thing will be I need to start filling these guys with more knowledge, or like doing, like, having a reason to talk to them, basically. So some of them might have jobs, some of them might have quests, some of them will know things about that I can ask about, like rumors or whatever. Yeah, so I'm just thinking through how I want to do this. So NPC generator is the thing that kind of just gives them their like default innate knowledge, but kind of what I want to do is almost run a mini simulation where I generate a bunch of NPCs and then, like, not in the game itself, but behind the scenes, it kind of simulates, say, a year of life in that particular village or something. And then during that simulation, they build up this knowledge and these connections and whatnot. And then the player steps into the game after all that's happened. So there's already kind of naturally generated yeah. So maybe what we start doing is looking at the village stuff then, because the village is potentially what I'm going to use to handle some of this. And let me think, how should we do this? So I will want a data representation of a village, that's for sure, that I can have kind of saved in RAM behind the scenes without the village actually needing to be loaded. Should I call it village? I'm kind of thinking of any sort of populated area, but it's fine. We'll just do village for now. So that's good. So what will a village have? We will probably have I guess just NPCs. And so we want NPCs, but we also kind of want buildings. Sorry, I'm just thinking through the problem in my head. So let's say I probably will have to change some of this, but for now let's just go with my train of thought. So we have a building, and that could be a home, a shop, you know, a guild, a palace, like possibly even like a gardens or something like that. I'm just thinking of like a particular place in a village or city, like a particular site or point of interest. And I would say most likely these are going to have names. I guess I'll use text. It's going to have a name, but it's also going to have some NPCs inside it. And basically why I keep pausing is because I'm trying to think through the problem of a village has buildings which has NPCs that live there, but then the village has NPCs. So what happens when someone moves from outside to inside? And I guess the answer is I just take them out of the building array and put them into the village array. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so this is going to have also NPCs, I suppose. It really doesn't like it no matter how I spell this. Okay, that's good. So we will also have an array of, hey, light blue stuff, welcome in. Long time no see. Buildings as well. Forward declare that. Okay, and then I'll just stop with that for now. There's a lot more stuff we could probably put in here. But what I want to do is write a generation function for it now, which I guess I could just do statically. No, because then I can't make a blueprint thing for it. I'll do a library then. Village generator. I'm probably doing so much stuff here. I should close this down for a second. So do static building generate. And I do realize I have done these as objects hopefully that's fine, but we'll see. Generic building, and then we'll just do make that. Let's just make them callable. Also, I'm getting confused here about the two. That should be village, this should be village. And we don't need this. And we should, I think, be able to forward declare that, I thought. No. Fair enough. Okay. So it does very much depend on what type of building it is, but for now we're just going to say every building is a house, just to keep things as simple as possible for now. Also, this was supposed to be a pointer. Create a new thing, and I need to do the world context thing I did from the NPC generator. This is the thing. This basically just makes a working blueprint. If I need a world reference, which I'm sure I will. Okay, we should be good. What are you annoyed about? I'm not returning anything. So now we can use the world context object as the outer. And then we don't really even need to name it, I don't think. Do we? That should be fine. God damn it, with the pointers. Alright, cool. So we now have that. So we can generate a new village, which is literally just spawn the class, but now I need to actually add people to it. So to hard code this for now, let's just go new village dot, and I should actually make some functions for this rather than just accessing these properties directly. Let's protect those instead. And we can do void add npc if npc. This is just fbuild actually because they'll already be registered. CID. Now that I look at it, this could probably be a set because we will never have the same NPC in the village twice. We do a constructor. What is it, NPCs? What else do I have? Buildings. Not sure if there's a good way to go about this or not, but we'll find out pretty soon. It'll at least help me get started. So literally, if we're going to add an NPC, all we're going to do is just literally add it to that array for now. But ideally what will happen eventually is this will fire off some sort of event that the actual spawned village will be binding to, so it knows if an NPC arrives at this village or exits the house or whatever while you're in the village, while you have it loaded in game, you know, it can spawn the proper actor or whatever. Make that const. Okay, getting somewhere. So now I can add an NPC. But for that we need to use the UNPC generator. Generate a new one, and yep, this just returns what the good. Oh, that actually returns the data. Okay. Come on. There we go. I guess I have to include that too, which not the best thing in the world. And now we need to register the NPC so we can get a GUID for it. So that's where the heck do I do that? NPC database, game instance subsystem. Okay. NPC database dot register new NPC, and that will give us our GUID. New NPC ID. Okay. Probably start with constants on this stuff too. And now we can add the actual new NPC to the village. So it's always gonna, when it generates a village, currently it's always gonna create a new NPC and add it. And obviously what I want to do then is do that in a loop 10 times maybe for now. Can be variable size based on the size of the village, but yeah, this will work to get started. So that should populate the village itself with NPCs, and we're going to need to do something very similar for the building, which, remember, we're just assuming is a house for right now. So you know, I should just make a generator for everything probably, but I don't know, something in me says that's a bad idea for some reason. Building generator. I should also make sure this compiles maybe. We'll do this. So now we'll do a public static, same thing essentially. What did I do? Am I forgetting a pointer in? Yes, I keep doing that for some reason. There we go. Static, view building, generate building. Context object, I think it was. I don't know if it needs to be const here necessarily. And then basically just take that line there and just change it to building. God damn, I'm really off with the pointers today. Try to forward declare it if I can, that'd be great. Right, so now we have this, and it's basically going to be a very similar thing to the village generator, at least this part of it, because it also has NPCs. Building, new building. We need to import that because we forward declared it. And we need the NPC data stuff, the generator, namebase statics, database. The add NPC function. So this does feel like a lot of duplicated code, to be perfectly honest with you, but so then I'll grab the function from here, go back to building, and then in here, which I guess we don't have yet. Very good. What am I missing? A constructor probably to set on this. Set of F goods, I believe. Then we had display name, whatever. That's just a null thing by default, so it should be all good. I mean, this should be null too. But cool. So now in our building generator, everything works. So what's going to happen is, yeah, we generate the village, which generates some NPCs, but now we're going to need to generate some homes. And for that, we'll just do u building. Okay, and then the village. I don't have a function to add a building, do I? No. Okay, and then just buildings.add new one. Okay, very good. Village generator. Add building, new building. So we add new building to the village. That's pretty much it. Because when we do this, it'll take care of doing whatever it needs to make a building work. And remember, these are homes for now, just for testing. So we should generate a new village with 10 NPCs and 10 buildings with no names or anything like that, just raw data. And in case it wasn't clear, I guess I didn't explain this exactly, but I'm going to separate out the data behind pretty much everything in the game, but in this case villages and buildings, from the actual in-game representation of the villages and buildings. So that way I can have a village on the other side of the map, essentially simulating or live or whatever without actually needing it to load it in game. So you don't have to be at that village for it to run. Yeah. It also will let me do stuff like simulate the, like 100 years of time in this world, and then let the player play in it. Well, at least it'll make that stuff a lot easier. Automation blueprint function library? Huh. That was the wrong import. Surely I'll need to import something for that though. Where is that core minimal? No. Wow, did I do it for both of them? I did, well. Oops. Both of those were not supposed to be whatever an automation blueprint library it was. Yeah, blueprint function library is what I want. Actually, before I open it, I am going to make those public again, just so I can see them in Engine to see if the data is generating properly. I guess I could just breakpoint. I should just breakpoint. So I'll just breakpoint right here. Alright, let's go ahead and boot it up. Gotta be honest, I'm feeling pretty tired tonight, so I don't think I'll go for too much longer. We'll see if we can make a little more progress. We did write a lot of code just then, I suppose. It's like the framework for our procedural city generation. What were those errors just then? Markov token. Okay, whatever. So if I call this function from random blueprint, we generate a village. That should be enough to trigger my breakpoint in Rider. Yep. And now we should be able to have a look at this. So if we have a look down here, maybe. Got a new village with 10 different NPCs, which is good. They all have different stuff. I can't really see what the NPCs are because it's just the GUIDs. Then we have the buildings, which each of those has 10 people, which now that I think about it is a lot of people for a house. But and a display name that's on set. So the data structure did generate correctly, which is a good sign. And did I break anything here? Yeah, that's all good. I just realized too, I actually want a real quick side tangent. This dialogue thing, I can't push enter to type that message. I have to click the button, and I want to be able to support enter. So let me quickly figure out how to do that. Dialogue, screen, widget, CPP. Start listening. Well, I got way deep into a train of thought just then, sorry. Start listening for input action. For action. I know there's a function for this somewhere. I could also just override, I suppose, a function for it, so maybe we'll try that. key. Oh, really? There's no input events? Called after a character is entered while this widget has focus. Yeah. On key down. Try that one. What was the signature? You know what, let me just grab the whole thing. No, I would not like to save the engine code, thank you. What does that say? Make... Oh, it's not virtual? Uh-oh. Oh dear, that might be a bit of a problem then. Native on key down. Okay, good. We do have a virtual version now that I can use. There we go. Yeah, whatever. Just override it. Just give me the friggin' function. What's going on here? Virtual thing, blah blah blah. Get rid of that. Oh, that's what I was complaining about. Cool, so now we should know about the key press skid. In key event. Hey, Pixapple. This is just a little experimental project I'm working on in Unreal. And it's, well, not a lot at the moment, but it's kind of just a procedurally generated RPG, I guess is the quickest way I can put it. I'm experimenting with a whole bunch of different techniques for procedural generation and just weird ideas. I wanted to try like this dialogue system that is like based on typing. Yeah. But specifically right now we're working on the fact that I want to be able to push enter rather than having to click this button. And before that we did a whole bunch of procedural generation code for villages and buildings. We can hopefully get the villages to generate. This isn't the art style I'm going for, like the pixel art, but the kind of type of rendering is. So like having sprites. A mix of 2D and 3D. I'm gonna try out this way. Yeah. It's like all the people always look at you basically, unless I draw every character twice, which would be a nightmare. Yeah, that's what we're on at the moment. In key event dot get key code. Nah. I think there's an F keys thing, isn't there? No, I think it's, is it E keys? Return? Enter. So if we have something written in the message input, we'll just return, I guess, and then, oh no, because it needs all this other crap too. So if it's not empty, then we just want to send off the event to actually do this. So I think I can just literally just call this function. Why does it think this is never going to succeed? Never saw this. It's really unique. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, you mean the art style or the concept? I think a few people have tried to make a like procedural RPGs. They don't. There isn't a huge amount of them, is what I should say. And yeah, as for the style, I was playing a game called Daggerfall, which is the game before. So there was Skyrim, then before that was Oblivion, then Morrowind, then Daggerfall. That was like 97 or something. Had this kind of graphics. I thought it'd be interesting to see how it would look in Unreal. Yeah, so why does this think it's gonna... And we're doing it in C++, obviously. This is... yeah, F key. This returns an F key. Like, what am I supposed to do here? Like, compare it or something? Not understanding what it's trying to tell me here. Thinks that whole block of code is unreachable, but I do not think it is. Oh my god, it is, because the return's at the top. Why did no one tell me? I thought it was a problem with that comparison up there. Cool, so that should be fine. When this happens, we need to return something. We'll just, whatever, who cares, return it there. Or wait, if reply, I think we need to say like, let the system know that an event was handled, unhandled. I think it needs to say handled. Otherwise we boil it up, bubble it up. Yeah, so that should be good, I think. Yep. And now if I say hello, I push enter, nothing happens. Really? Nothing happens? Maybe this is not being called. I guess not. Did I put the wrong... This function is not getting called. That's problematic. Okay, let me look at the widget real quick, because there's also a preview key down called after a key is pressed when a widget focus will not be passed. Yeah, okay, we can try that one. One preview key down. Because it might be that something else is intercepting it, I guess. See if that gets called. If that still doesn't get called, I might need to use a key up event. Let's check. Ooh. Okay, yeah, no, that was triggering as I was typing then, so that's a good sign. So yeah, it was just getting stolen by the yeah, just get me out of here. What's going on? We're calling the wrong parent function, and that is going to cause massive issues. Yeah, so it was, I think it was the text input field stealing the enter on key down. This should work. Do a full recompile, test this out, check the procedural generation one more time, and then I think I'm going to call it a night there. Is my camera lagging yet? No, we're good. Must have just been the problem from last night. I do need to fix this too at some point. Right. So hopefully, yeah, that works. Be nice if it refocused this after. How hard would that be? Maybe like that. Okay. Oh, wait a second. All right. Okay, so no, so that didn't reselect this again. So maybe it's message input dot keyboard. It's got keyboard focus. Also, it might matter if I do it. I don't know, because we're chatting handled, should be fine. No. What do I call them? Message input focus. I think it's something to do with focus. User focus, I guess. No. Yeah, I think it might be a timing issue because I push enter and this happens straight away. So I'm just gonna chuck a big old to-do on it. Possibly might need to write some sort of rumor generator at some point too. If we look at, no, I don't call the function anymore, but if I generate a village again, I'll make sure that's still good. Oh, generate village. Why is nothing showing up in here? Something got messed up. Is that all blueprints? No. Just the level blueprint. Okay, well, what I'll do then is I'll steal that and put that in here and actually maybe refresh all nodes. Ooh dear, it does not like that. And we crashed. Okay. Tell you what, let's put breakpoint here, debug it, and we'll run it this way, and hopefully that'll be fine. Now, I did say that 10 people in a building is probably a little extreme. Not initialized properly. I mean, sure. Okay, does this work again? Are we still cooked here? No, we're good. Run that function, hit play, and boom, breakpoint. And the village, 10 NPC IDs, 10 buildings with 10 NPCs in them. And then if I check the NPC database, there should be a whole bunch of registered NPCs. Yeah. There's a male orc, and he knows he's got 3 claims about himself. My name is blah blah blah, I'm an orc and I'm a male. And they all, I'm pretty sure, have 3 claims. Yeah, about their race, name and gender. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there. That's not a huge amount done, but a lot of the generation code out of the way. And now we just kind of need to improve on this code a little bit and then start getting the actual visual representation together. And then maybe run some simulation. But thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you all in the next stream.